Good morning. Welcome to my living room. That was a little bit of a techno disaster. Hope it gave you a little bit of a laugh. It completely stressed me out. Anyway, very good morning to you. As I was trying to say, I'm going to be interviewing Kate Hill today. There's a few reasons why. She currently runs a 70 square metre salon in Salzburg, Austria. And Austrian salons were actually able to open on the 4th of May after lockdown due to the fact that Austria has had a very, very low COVID count, 16,000 cases and only just over 600 deaths in the country. So they were able to open 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to talk to Kate about what it's like. Kate, just so you know, opened her salon in 2008. Kate, you do need to, can you do the request, please, when you come on, so that I can then press on you? I think that's where we went wrong, is that I need you to request to talk to me. Thank you. Kate trained with CND in Germany. She's done mastered with Marion. She's been on the Marion Newman session team. Kate, I can see you there. Could you please just request to join the interview, please? And I think if you request, then I can let you in. So Kate has done training in the UK, Germany and Austria, been on the Marion Newman session team. I got the pleasure of meeting Kate last November when she came over to the UK for the first nail safari, which was a week-long education event held outside of Cambridge. So I've just requested for Kate to join us so that we can carry on with the live. And I do apologise for my techno hitch at the beginning. Good morning, Kate.
I'm a technology dinosaur. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not you. Did you see I flipped it and showed everyone my front garden?
And it's beautiful, and it looks like it's sunny over in England. So you're lucky. It's absolutely hammering rain here.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, I do actually have beautiful sunshine. It's true. I just wanted to before I ask you the first question, just let everybody know. Kate approached me last week, not only because she'd done a really good live on Maggie's chat show with Marion Newman, but she also has a client who runs a fashion luxury label who's been making masks for PPE and donating them. Where they're needed, but also through that she designed a mask with Swarovski crystals. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure
It's gorgeous. I don't own the company, people, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, and it works. But anyway, sorry to interrupt, Alex.
No, that's totally super. So I just wanted to say that I did a story with Kate yesterday that was uploaded onto Scratch Magazine website and Facebook page. And on there, you'll see that Kate's wearing the mask. And so you can see that it comes in taupe and white and black. It's about £53 to buy, but there is a 10% discount for Scratch viewers and readers if you use the discount code CHILL10. Pop over to the Scratch website, have a little look at the story. It's in features on the website, and then you can see what the mask looks like, and if you fancy it looking that sexy in your salon.
That's sexy. Yeah, sexy in your salon. Yeah, I mean, we're all suckers for Swarovski, aren't we?
Totally. No, I'm actually wearing Swarovski in honour of our conversation.
Oh, very good.
I've got my special Swarovski pen.
Oh, well, you're way fancier than me. I've just got it on I've got it around my neck because I have a couple of them on the go, and yeah, but not only that are they beautiful, they're actually extremely intelligently functional. So I kind of got blown away. I got lucky, as you said in your magazine and in the interview, and thank you for that. I can't wear it. I get actually blisters from the paper ones. And when you're taking it on and off and on and off, and trying to use it effectively with working and using it all day, I actually had a big problem. So I got lucky, and a customer of mine makes these. And it's super, and I don't know, it's fascinating. If you know anything about silver, you know it's antibacterial. But when I went into it, I actually wanted to make sure it was comfortable for me to wear, and that I was protecting myself from micro dust. That was really important for me, as well as the virus, of course, paramount. But and it really works. All my team have bought their own because they're so comfortable and they're so good. So listen, make up your mind, guys. I mean, I know it's a big spend. I do know that. But the good thing is I'm all about trying my best to get a bit sustainable in the salon. And we work with, an end effect plastics. So you can do your bit everywhere else if you can. So this is the way that I can try and support something local in Austria. And they are doing good as well by donating them to so many frontline workers and doctors. And the feedback is amazing. So they're awaiting certification. Now, guys, it's not an N95. It's not a respirator. So I don't want to think selling something that, is not yet certified. But, we didn't have this. The mask rules are made from 1920. So everything is going to be changed over the next year. I mean, that's fascinating. I didn't know that either, that certifications were made in 1920. Gosh, so that's going to be changed. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot that's going to be changed, and there's a lot more research to do on these masks. And, these people in certification don't know much about micro or nanotechnology. So, hopefully that there's a kinder solution to us as nail techs, and that it's safer. That's the main thing. But anyway, make up your own mind.
Thank you for that, because that's just a lovely aspect that I wanted to make sure we covered. But obviously wanted to talk to you today because the UK at this moment in time, we've been given a date of July the 4th, but who knows if that will move. But so it's nice to talk to somebody who's been trading now for nearly 2 weeks. You've been open. Now, if you could let us know, first of all, how long were you closed? And then when you knew that you were opening, what measures did you do in order to prepare for that Monday morning, please?
Yeah. To answer your first question, we were closed. I mean, today it's 2 months. Now, we have been open for 2 weeks. Initially, we were told we were going to open at a different date. So we were told in mid-May, but due to the low, and I mean, I hate saying that, low numbers. I mean, people are dying, so it seems odd to say only, but so due to the reaction and the infection spread and the rate of the spread, the government then decided to move it forward to May 2nd, actually, for everybody. Yeah, and so we only had a week's notice. Now, you say only a week, but because you've been in lockdown for 7 or 8 weeks, you think, okay, well, I can get everything done. So I literally made a 7-day plan. So I didn't want to overwhelm myself either. But you think you're going to be ready to open, but then you get nervous, and then what do you do? So what did I do? I obviously informed my customers, and as I said on Marion's chat, which was fantastic, and I hope to help people with this. It's not saying it'll work for everybody. Everybody's customer base is different. But what I did is I let, obviously, social media with Facebook and Instagram, let them know. And I asked my customers to contact me via email. Now, anybody who wasn't on Facebook and Instagram, now I have an older generation as well as customers, not so young, in the trend. So I contacted my customers who've been with me for a very long time, personally via email or via phone, and I secured them. I didn't have a waiting list. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, just because some people may not want to come back in the first week. They may be a bit scared to, actually. We were in phase 2. So I don't know if in England the nail salons are in phase 2 as the small shops. Are you all opening together? That I don't know. Are there some shops opening beforehand?
We do have phases. For example, garden centres opened on Wednesday this week. We are being phased, and forgive me, nail industry, if I've got this wrong, but I think we're phase 3 for salons. But I believe so.
That makes a big difference.
Sorry.
No, that makes a big difference. And actually, I'm very glad we were not in phase 1, because in phase 1, you still have that absolute heightened sense of fear and the unknown. And it gives people a little bit of time to get used to actually seeing other people again. I don't know if many of you have had the kind of, whoa, there's a person, and whoa, I have to make a big circle around them. So that kind of made a difference for us. So people were a little bit more comfortable coming out and looking forward to, normality. And they'd already had a week or 2 of that. So, so I was glad that we were in phase 2 personally. And so I contacted them all, and I made sure it worked for me. I didn't take any phone calls. I knew that taking the phone calls would be an extremely emotional and an extremely arduous and extremely time-consuming task depending on your customer base. But I knew at that, if somebody got me on the phone and they haven't talked to me and I'm used to seeing them every 3 weeks, we're going to have a long conversation.
Yeah.
So that worked really well for me because I got the business done and then I obviously looked forward to seeing them when they arrived. So that really helped. Your second question, what did I do? Yes, I made a 7-day plan, more or less. I tried not to stress myself because I was used to being off. So I walked into the salon first thing as a customer. So I put on my customer hat. So I didn't walk in as a tech and freaking out. I said, okay, I'm going to walk in as a customer. And then I just did, I mean, what you're all saying is like a risk assessment as a consumer. How would I feel if I walked in here right now? And so I went through the phases and I sat in the chair that the customer would sit in and I had a look around. And then I thought about where would I leave my hands? Would that be on my chairs? Some people use velvet chairs. Some people have wipeable chairs. These kind of things were playing in my head because even after they've washed their hands and disinfected their hands, if they have sweaty hands, I mean, that was important to me that, I knew exactly where everything was going. So yeah, I worked through as a customer and then I went to the cash register and I sorted that out as a customer. And then the next day I came in as a nail tech. So I, first of all, prioritized the customer. And the next day I came in as a nail tech. I mean, you want to do everything at once. You do. But sometimes you just have to go through methodically through it. And then I went through as a nail tech. And then I went through my systems, my protocols, and checked with my stock. How much stock did I have? Did I have enough? So I didn't... I know people are freaking out at the moment about PPE, and we'll talk about that, I think, later, I think. But I really wanted to check, first of all, did I have enough for my staff? What did I have? And where did I need to order? Gels. Did I need more gel polishes? Did I need more removal stuff? Those kind of things. So that's how I kind of started to prepare. I'm just trying to think, does that kind of, checking my gloves, checking my masks, checking what we had, and how I was going to clean and did I have enough disinfection?
I was going to move to that. I'm guessing that the most, the very important part of opening up is sitting with your staff. And by the way, can I just ask, how many staff do you have, Kate?
I have 3.
So I'm guessing, but
4.
maybe I'm wrong. You get together with your staff and then discuss the cleaning protocols that you're going to do before opening. And then I'm guessing, would you like to talk to us about your morning in between clients and your end of day routine with cleaning protocols? How do you manage that now?
I mean, to be honest, I get most of my information, honestly, from people like yourselves, and especially Marion Newman and the powerhouse that she is in spreading information. And I really do. And I know I'm from Ireland, but I actually lived for 20 years in Austria. And I'm going to be very honest, and I might get me in trouble, but I feel like if you think you don't have a voice, I mean, we certainly do not have a voice. We barely mention. So the cleaning protocols that we would do, I have been doing through the information I've been getting actually from the UK and my new UK peers and network and my friends. So yeah, we would definitely come in. I mean, obviously everything is cleaned at night. So the night before we've got a clean space. So from I actually use chlorine on the floors. Chlorine with water because I know it kills everything. The place stinks, so we open up the windows in the morning. All our tools are already ready to go in the morning. In the morning, we're pretty ready to go. Obviously, we thoroughly wash our hands and we check all our towels and all of those kind of things. So we know that we're pretty much ready to go in the morning. Between clients, I have a different system. I'm pretty happy with my system, as I mentioned on Marion's chat show. What we do is our tools are immersed on our table, like in a drawer, with us in barbicide. So when we're finished using that with the customer, we bring our tools to the back and we wash our tools. Then we actually spray them. I mean, we wash them with a brush, obviously. We spray them and then I put them into a I think in English it's called ultrasonic. So we're ultrasonic as well. Then I take, and that's a really, really, I mean, it's super, super, super duper hot. I can't actually off the top of my head remember the degrees, but it's super hot. Like you need to take it out. And then we dry them off, obviously, and we put them back in the barbicide between each customer. So I'm pretty happy with the 4 steps that we've made, you know, to do that. And we've always done that. We've always done that. There is the big talk about autoclaves. I understand it. But again, for some people, it's out of financial reach right now. And as I said on Marion's chat show, if you can do it, do it. If you can't, make sure whatever you're doing chemically is good enough.
Yeah, and we do have it from Doug Shune, from Marion Newman, that autoclaves are not necessary. They're a hospital grade kind of cleaning. And for anybody out there that's watching that might have just got a little bit worried about the word autoclave, we'll just clarify. I have it on a very good source that autoclaves, if you have one, you must have it in pristine condition. It must be working, but it's not necessary with UK guidelines. I'm sorry, I'm talking to UK guidelines.
No, that's okay.
It's not a necessity. We have very good, if you follow the correct hygiene protocols, you don't need an autoclave. So I just wanted to throw that in there for texts that may not have seen that in any other forum or discussion. Sorry, so continue. Sorry.
No, Kate. So but just to go on the autoclaves, that they are a requirement if you're doing permanent makeup or tattoos or medizinische Flusspflege, podiatry. Like they are a requirement. But for nail techs, and again, unfortunately, I mean, we have protocols this big, but they're not for the nail industry at all. I mean, the only time the word nail turns up is if they're talking about a file from a beautician. So, you know, you're kind of flying blind, really. So I would say that, I don't know, whoever's doing what they're doing, I don't know whether they'll change it or not. I hope so. But I can say what we're doing, and that's all I can really say in Austria. So we use single-use files. And I'm not talking about the ones you put on and off. And I actually just brought a very simple file. Just, you know, it's just 100, 180 for, or obviously 240. We, I call it season. You season the file before you start. They see it. Yeah. We use it, and that's it. And actually, I mentioned on a forum the other day is if some people are worried about the extra cost of this, and of course it says it over and over again to include it in your cost. It has always been included in my cost. But I said, you know, why not ask your customer? And I'm sure some people went, oh, I'd never ask my customer that. So I asked my customers for you in case anyone was a bit afraid. So since you asked me to do this, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask my customers. And so I asked them, I said, so if I was to offer you today a file that I have used, I've disinfected, and it's perfectly to manufacturer standards, can you reuse that, or would you like for the extra cost? And I actually said €2 just to go a little bit higher. I don't know how much it would cost in the UK. Or you can have, I'll crack open a new file for you, and you can have your own and you can take it with you. Every single customer said, I would like my own file. Just for those. And if you feel awkward about it and asking it, then you must have to ask the question, why? Why?
Well, I think sometimes something you said earlier that I really liked and really works for me is this idea that you went back to the salon and you totally recce'd it and you risk assessed it as a customer.
Yeah.
And then you went back the next day and risk assessed as a nail tech. Now, I really like that, because I think what the bit you're saying there is that if you're afraid in this life of something, it's just turn it around and be that person. Rather than being afraid of asking the question, say to yourself, if I was going to a different salon and sitting there, what would I expect and what would I like? And as soon as you flip it, it's a bit like, you know, when you're nervous about something, think about everybody in the room being naked. Yeah. It's like there are tools out there to
which can be fun sometimes.
Yeah. It's like there are tools out there to equip us to be able to deal with difficult situations. I think there's no reason to ask the question. You're giving an option anyway.
Yeah.
So it seems like a very sensible idea to me, and really, I think this new landscape, most people are going to say, "Hey, I'll pay a bit more." Number one, I'm here because I really want my nails done.
And I
Number
can take
two,
my file home. So if I get locked down again, which you won't, but if you get locked down again, I have a file. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
mine. I can give it to my husband to do his toenails. I don't care. You know, they have it.
yeah,
And I think what you said, Alex, about flipping something, this is something that really changed in my mindset, you know, after when, you know, I came back and looked at it on both sides. We're all constant. I mean, this is just my opinion. I felt I was concentrating on, I don't want to get the disease. I don't want to get this virus. Now, my husband actually said it to me. He said, Kate, turn around and say, I have it. I don't want to give it to anybody else. He said, my whole mindset then flipped. And then I went, okay. I said, that makes a whole lot of difference to me. He said, imagine you were told you have it. Now, what are the precautions you're going to take so as not to pass it on? And I think when you start to see it, things by flipping it, you
yes.
see things and you think about things that you don't normally
That's a
do.
beautiful change of perspective there, because then you've got a full view,
Mm.
a full view perspective, haven't you? If you've
Yeah.
got it, or if you don't want to get whatever, you're coming from a wider perspective. So Kate, can you just let us know what protocols have you put, measures have you put in place for the actual clients? What do you expect from the moment that they arrive? First of all, how have you asked them to arrive?
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect of them? Have you done a certain amount of minutes for cleaning in between them? Do you allow them to have their phone, etc.? Can you talk us through the actual how a client behaves in your salon from arrival to departure?
Absolutely. Okay, I'll start with upon entering. So upon entering, we do have a comfortable bench. Actually, there's no arm rests or anything, but it's a bench where they wait, and then they are brought. I mean, it's an open salon. They're brought in. So we have they come in. There's disinfection there. They would pump and use it sowieso, but sowieso. Sorry, I'm throwing in German here. But we do have a sink in the salon. On the salon floor, specifically for that purpose. It's always been there. They come in, they wash their hands, but before every service. Anyway, we used to have the pump, the soap spender, the soap bottle where you pump it. And
Yeah.
recently, I actually rethought that this week, actually. And I thought, well, actually, everyone's coming in. Some may have disinfected hands, some may not come in, and they're using a pump. So how can I change that? So actually, I have come up with, and it's actually brilliant. And I'll talk about retail later, but it's brilliant because I'm selling loads of them. They're single, tiny petals that are soap. They're soap flowers. So we give them a petal, and they're
How
soap.
lovely.
And they have to work at it, because you know you just sometimes pump your soap and these you have to work to dissolve, and they love it. They absolutely love it. It's one use.
Yeah.
There's
Hey,
no
where did you
waste.
get them from? That
They're
is
actually an
so
English
cool. Where did you
company.
get them?
Yeah,
Hmm?
they're brilliant. They're an English company. I got them. I got a
Are they?
load. Yeah, I got a load from Mother's Day. Unfortunately, they arrived Mother's Day late here because we have a different type of Mother's Day than you. We're in April. They're from can you see that? Heathcote and Ivory. Oh, you see my nose.
I am absolutely blind as a bat. I might be wearing
Yeah,
specs, but I'm
I
blind
don't
as
know.
a bat.
They're called
You
Heathcote and Ivory, and they're fantastic. And look at them; they're for the
Heathcote and
bath.
Ivory. Okay,
And
well, how lovely. That's a
yeah,
super idea.
yeah, and the clients love them. Then they go and they buy the box. Fantastic, double result. So but you know, not only that, they know they don't have to pump on something that somebody's been using, and it looks beautiful in a glass bowl. That's something I'm doing this week, and that has helped with retail sales as well. So then they obviously then again disinfect, and they come and sit at the table. They don't go near the table until that procedure has been done. And then, well, I'm all gloved up. Sorry.
Okay, can I just
Yep.
check? Are you not asking for any foot coverings? Can I
No.
check their right? So
No.
no foot coverings. Can I also ask, are they still carrying their handbag and their coat?
Yes. Oh
Is
no,
that not
that's left by the bench, the coat.
right?
Getting them. Okay, so we are, and it's great to see England is now slowly flattening the curve. We are out currently of this. We have technically flattened the curve, and this is something I really want to bring over to people. So Right now, I mean, I think up until maybe today or yesterday, I don't know the figures in England so well. Um, you're at the pinnacle of the curve, the pinnacle, height, scared out of your wits. And I get it. I totally get it. But when you start coming down, and you've been given a date in July, did you say? I mean,
Before.
that's a couple of weeks for people and the infection rate to go right down. So by the time you open, your infection rate and your is going to be a lot lower. The restrictions are going to start loosening up. People are going to be moving a little bit more freely and are going to be a little more confident. We've actually very thankfully in Salzburg, we have had no infections for one week. There is zero. So people are yeah. So I mean, I really hope this is going to happen across the board. Obviously, we don't have the tube. We don't have, the mass numbers that you do. But you will see, I think from my experience over here, you will see this huge, oh my God. And then it'll be like, okay, let's just chill out a little bit. And so that has definitely, the people here are a lot more calmer now than they were 2 weeks ago. Okay. So no, we don't have foot coverings. We don't, they do bring their bag. They're not allowed to use their phone. We would say to somebody, but they wouldn't anyway during our service. We kind of discourage that. And the good thing about not using your phone, obviously for infection rate, but also it encourages conversation and everybody will be talking to everybody. And that's what's something beautiful. So they put away their phone and that's brilliant. And actually, to be honest, they shouldn't be allowed their phones anyway. Because it messes up with our work. But no, they don't do it. But it's really hard. It's really hard in practice to berate a customer and say, can you please put away your phone? If you're worried about it, to be honest, there are wipes, disinfection wipes. You can have a box of them in the front and say, please disinfect your phone. Might be a solution.
So you're allowing that. So what about when I saw the picture of your salon, you haven't put up any perspex screens, have you?
No.
But you have done something rather sexy that I like. You've done, because your social distancing is 1 meter, isn't it?
Yes, it's gone down to 1 meter, and I think that can probably happen to you guys too. I hope.
So I've noted that you put up really lovely white screens between the technicians, not between the clients, but between the technicians. Or is it between the client as well?
It's between the clients. All our clients face out. So we have windows. So we don't need to look outside. So I actually have it turned. So all the clients look out into the green and what's going on. So we actually look at the walls, but we're actually looking at nails. So it's just a personal thing. I don't like to be the one that sits there. So they sit there and they're between the clients and I mean, they work brilliantly because as I said, mouth to mouth, it's a meter, but shoulder to shoulder, it's not a meter because I have double desks. Now, if you don't have double desks, you don't have this problem. If you've got a desk of 6 technicians, then you do have this problem. And a friend of mine, a colleague of mine in Germany, has 10 technicians, and now she's reduced down to 6. So there is a space in between. But for me, I had double tables. So I put in a partition and it works brilliantly. It works absolutely brilliantly.
And are you asking your clients to wear a mask?
Well, in Austria, and this is something because of the PPE, and actually I should have mentioned it before when we started off, nobody comes into the salon without a mask. So it's actually a law in Austria. So we have a Maskenpflicht. So wherever you go, into any public place, on any public bus, or, I mean, walking around, not so much, but anywhere you go and enter, you have to have a mask on. We wear one anyway. We always have. But now really the only difference for me is that the customer is wearing a mask and they're so well informed. You're not allowed anywhere without a mask. And it's great. It's really good.
Can I ask about teas and coffees, beverages in the salon? Are you still offering these?
No, I was up until last week, and through actually my chat with Marion and something Marion said, I know some people, I was worried because it's standard in Austria to offer a tea or coffee. I went out and I bought paper cups thinking that eliminated the problem. And through the discussion, a couple of people made a few very good points. One about dust, the other one about actually them said not removing the mask. I have one anyway, so without going overboard. I mean, just by being in the same room does not mean I'm going to get necessarily affected straight away. So then just quickly lifting up, I was like, oh, I'm not so concerned. But then I thought about the removal of this paper cup. I still have to grab it to remove it and to bin it. So I did think, okay, let's try it without. And to be honest, not one person has complained. One person did ask for water. I gave her water. That's fine. But no, we're no longer doing it. It's funny. So, and
Okay.
actually, I'm saving money because each cup of coffee costs money.
Yeah, fair
So on the
point.
other hand, I'm actually saving money.
Fair point. So, and how are you dealing with? Are you going? Have you gone cashless, or are you
No,
still taking money?
no. Austria is a very cash rich country. So no, we are not encouraged encouraged. The government obviously want their tax back somehow. So they get it directly when you pay by card. And of course, that's a good thing. But no, that's not really a concern at the moment for anybody here. Most people are actually paying. Actually, I did look at it last week and it was about 60-40 card, 60-40 card. So no, it's not a law.
Have you found that your clients would like to know what your cleaning protocols are? I know it's a
Yes.
question I probably should have asked earlier. Sorry, but I was just wondering: are they more switched on now and actually want to
Yes.
know that they're in a safe environment?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they would directly ask because maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a politeness thing. So they wouldn't, front up and go, well, how clean are you? But we do discuss it and it is very important. And we do discuss it amongst ourselves in a very kind of third person. When a customer has come back or something, we just, instead of just standing up, we'll say, oh, I have to get your tools from the ultrasound. I have to get, so we do mention and go, I'm just gonna, sorry, I just need to clean, not clean, crack open the file. They know we do this anyway, but we've never actually shouted it from the rooftops that we have all of these procedures. Never felt the need to, and then the questions say, oh, right, and do you disinfect the lamps as well? I'm like, absolutely, of course we always do, and so they're very interested.
So there's a heightened interest,
Absolutely.
which we would understand. So
Yeah.
moving on, there was a question I just wanted to highlight. Somebody has asked us or asked you, Kate, what do you do with foot files? What's the situation with foot files?
Oh, that's a very good question. So we would do the same procedure that we would use with all of our tools. So we would wash with a brush, and then we disinfect them. We let it dry, and then we would disinfect them again. So we actually just use a normal disinfection with that. Nothing actually has changed for me there. We don't cut out anything. It's just a simple cosmetic pedicure. So we don't really change anything.
Wanted to move into another area. There's a couple more things to cover before we finish. I wanted to move into, you said something very interesting when we first spoke, which was that you weren't expecting to feel so tired going back to work, and you weren't expecting to feel sort of, did you say the word pain from maybe a lot of filing when you haven't been at work for 2 months, coming back into the salon? And didn't you service something crazy like 90 clients?
Well, not by myself. No, not by myself.
Sorry.
Not by
Obviously,
myself.
that would be bionic.
Exactly. No.
But yeah, didn't talk to us about the yoga that you're doing morning and evening, and just how
Yeah.
you're dealing with the whole being back in the
Yeah.
salon.
I did enjoy myself over the 7 weeks with probably a bit too much wine and a bit too much sitting on the sofa, and I knew I had to kind of sort myself out before the week ahead. I try myself every morning to get up, 20 minutes earlier and just stretch because it's sore. And when you haven't been working for 2 months, it's kind of like a memory loss, and you're really working, and you're trying to keep up, but you're also trying. The good thing is you're allowing a little bit of extra time for your clients, and I'll talk about that in a second. But it is my body, my back was very sore. My upper back was very sore, and my bones. Now maybe it's because it's an age thing. I don't know. But my bones were very sore, and emotionally. emotionally it was draining. You're on a super high. I mean, it's amazing. Your customers are coming back. It's wonderful. They're excited to see you. They probably haven't talked to anyone for a very long time apart from on the phone, but face to face. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful drain, but at the end of the day, it's exhausting. And I would say, we're all excited to get back, and you will be excited to get back to work. Try not to do 10 hours a day when you go back, because in 3 weeks' time, you're going to have those customers waiting again, and that's another 10 hours a day. So I would say, I would say just edge them out a little bit, because the first 2 weeks are full on. They're absolutely full on. You're exhausted. I mean, I was more tired on the second week. I must say, it was like that climax again. You go, whoo. So yesterday I actually hit a wall and needed a big long bath, a stretch in bed at like 9 o'clock. Yeah, the third week, next week, there's a lot more breaks, as in there's a lot more time between customers. So that's where you do your administration. That's where you do your paperwork. Forget all that in the first 2 weeks. You're just not, your head space is not going to be there, is my opinion. Mine wasn't. So that's where I'm going to catch up on all of that. And knowing that the week after is going to be full on again, because then we're back into the wheel. I wouldn't expect you to be, well, I mean, I didn't expect to be completely rammed for completely. I would say definitely, like something Marion said, minus 30%, minus 20% on week 3. Because, yeah, some people don't have the money. Some people actually want their gels or their enhancements removed and want to go back natural for a while. And that's okay. That's okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, lovely. Thank you. So I'm moving on to another important aspect is obviously having a salon closed. There are profits, there's revenue that's gone and can never be recovered.
Yeah.
And so I know that you're very keen to recoup as much as you can through upselling. So can you talk to us about how you're focusing on that and how you're actually delivering it and actualizing it?
Yeah, well, so we've allowed 15 minutes between each client, simply for disinfection. Obviously, we mentioned that we need to disinfect more thoroughly. But also, you never know if you're going to get breaks or repairs. Also, if you've got a gel polish customer, and they obviously won't have gel polish on their nails, so time will be a little quicker. So if it takes you 45 minutes to do that, allow an hour. And then you have 15 minutes to play with. And these 15 minutes, obviously, you need to rebook your clients, because you wouldn't have done that initially. You need to rebook your clients. You need to take your money. You need to disinfect, all of that kind of stuff. So in that time and during the service, we do upsell. So everything we use, we always talk about it. So if we're using oil, we talk about it. If we're using cream, we talk about it. I do support an awful lot of regional natural care. So they're very regional. So if we're using a hand cream that has been made by somebody, certified as bio, we will use it, we'll explain it, and then we will show the customer where it is. I did invest before we started a little bit more money on my retail, because I knew, as in products that I knew would sell, I knew that people would be excited to be back in a shop. I knew that they would like to do something nice for themselves. I thought they would. And maybe if that's only buying a £10 soap or flowers or whatever it is, or a hand cream, I knew it's a feel-good factor. So I did actually try and invest in a little bit more retail. And also foot creams and stuff have been going great. So yeah, we explained to them what we're doing, and we have near the cash register, we have shelves with those products on, and they've been going great, because I know the money's gone, the profit's gone, and my girls know it as well, and we've all been trained on the products again, obviously, and that's been working beautifully, I must say. So even if it's only recuperating 30%, it's 30% I didn't have 3 weeks ago. So I hope that helps. That works for me.
Well, thank you, Kate. Kate, thank you very, very much for talking to us today about being back in business. So would you leave us on a point that now you are back up and running? Can you leave us with how you're feeling about the future? it would be, you know, positivity. Give us a little insight on how
Positivity.
you're feeling.
Honestly, I'm feeling positive. I think we'll be okay. I think normalcy will return somehow. And you know, we're very lucky. We're moving into summer. We're not moving into winter. We're moving into summer. The sun will be shining. People will be delighted to get back. They'll be seeing their family again. They'll be seeing their friends again. There'll be a lot more movement, and it will, you know, it'll generate between you and your customer, but you'll feel it all around. And I really do think, yes, of course, I can't imagine we'll go back to the way we were straight away. I think in about 3 months, we'll have a good indication of where we are. I think we're going to need to manage our finances very carefully, and manage those appointments. And, you know, give your customers more time. They've come to you again. Is this what I'm saying to my girls? Is they've come to us again. Before we might have been a bit of a machine, you know, getting through them. Now we're allowing that extra 15 minutes, and I might just keep those extra 15 minutes for my customers.
That's a nice idea, because we're also a very let's not forget, it's not just about the nails. There's the psychology, there's
Hugely.
the friendship, there's the caring,
Touch.
the caring for your client, the
Absolutely.
relationships we build up in the nail salon. Nail salon and client relationship is absolutely beautiful, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mm.
And so, yeah, if you can add something onto that, and turn that into something more special and giving, because with any luck, what we have learned through this time is that it's about communication, it's about
Absolutely.
caring for our community, and caring about each other more. And I think we've all learned that, haven't we? So
Yeah, look after yourselves, look after them. And you know, in the greater good, there's so much good that's going to come out of this for the industry. I mean, our standards, because of discussions like this, are going to be better. And if we're better, then the whole industry is going to be, you know,
yeah,
benefiting.
if we're all operating with great standards and big hearts and doing what is right, it can only be beautiful for our
Yes,
industry.
all
Totally.
my team got a new T-shirt. We all got new uniforms, and it just says one word, and that's our motto. It says
I can't.
love,
Oh,
love. That's it. It's just a
that's
tiny little
gorgeous.
T-shirt.
Well, that's gorgeous. Well, that's a lovely note for us to finish on, Kate. And thank you very, very much for your time today.
Thank you for asking me. Love to
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you for listening today. Bye-bye.